Welcome to Drumchapel St. Andrew's online church. I hope you're doing okay and I hope you're well. It's all changed for us again this week because Glasgow has been shifted to Tier 4 of the COVID restrictions. It means for the next 3 Sundays we're not going to be in church. So online is going to be our only format for the next 3 weeks. Hopefully by the end of that we'll be able to be back in church again, and we are still planning a programme of Christmas services. At the moment, unclear what that is going to look like, but hopefully we'll be able to be in church for at least some of our Christmas services, and we'll have a full programme of Christmas services online as well. So in whatever way you're connecting with our church family this Christmas, Christmas at Drumchapel St. Andrews will still happen. Thank you for being here today. Thanks for checking in, and thanks for being part of our online church family. Our theme for today is the blind side. Again, I've linked our songs and videos if you want to pause me when it comes to them in the service. I've done them the same way that I did them last week, just in the order that they're coming in the service. Before that I did songs and videos separate, but that meant jumping about a bit. I think probably better call to do them in the order they're going to be in the service. So at the point in the service when they come up, just pause me and click on the link and listen to song, watch the video. You'll find them on Facebook in the post below this one, and you'll find them in YouTube underneath the video in the comments section. You may have to go down through some videos that are suggested for you by YouTube, but if you go down to the very bottom of that in the comments section, the first comment will be the links for our songs and videos. So thanks for being here today. The news has been good this week with regard to the vaccine, and it's certainly looking quite hopeful that maybe by Easter time we could be looking towards some sort of normality again. So it's been nice to have some good news in the midst of what's still really quite a hard time as we deal with the effects of what's going on just now. But thank you for being here, and I appreciate you being part of our service today. It is lovely to connect with you. Our first moment to pause me is for our first song, which is 10,000 Reasons. A few years ago, it looked like my club, Hearts, were going to go out of business. For a while, it really looked pretty bad. And all the supporters pitched in to try and save the club. And eventually, they did. And the organisation that was set up of Hearts supporters was called Foundation of Hearts. And when eventually the club was saved, Foundation of Hearts wanted to thank everybody that had given money and supported the club and saved it. And what they did was they produced a football strip. So here's a Hearts strip, and the pattern on it, which you can't really see from there, is a whole load of names. On this strip are the names of everybody that contributed to save Hearts. And the whole of this strip is just made up of thousands of names. Can you see my name there? No? Okay, it's tiny. My name is somewhere down about here. I'm really pleased that it's on the front of the strip, and I'm really pleased it's like not under the armpit or something like that. But from a distance, you can't actually see what any of these names are. It's just a nice strip, a nice pattern. There are thousands of names on that strip. Can you see from there who gave the most? No, you can't. It is just all the names of all the people who supported the club. It's not about how much anybody gave. That doesn't really matter. It's about everyone working together to make something amazing happen. Every act of kindness you do creates a bigger picture. And I guess if we were making a strip of us, it would have all of our names on it. You might not always feel that what you do is a big deal, but it is. Because what you do and your name make up the bigger picture and makes something beautiful. Let's do a prayer. God, I don't always see how significant my kind acts are. Sometimes I don't value myself enough, and I don't recognise how good I am. Help me today that what I do, combined with what the people around me do, will create a beautiful picture. Amen. And if you want to pause me now, our song is Fight Song. Please make yourself a part of our prayer. God, in this moment, I find myself having to dig deep. Energy, motivation, and inspiration have taken a hit over these past months. But they haven't left me. I may not have the contact with people I had before, but I recognise the value of those I love and who love me, and they encourage me to reach for my inner strength, the strength that comes from love, peace, wisdom. I know that there is a much bigger picture than what I am living right now. In this moment, I allow myself to be human. That is the essence of my faith. First, I need to be human before I can touch the divine. There are no shortcuts to enlightenment. I learn from my encounters with others, from loves and losses, from experiences, challenges and adventures, from successes and failures, from times when it's hard to keep going, and from times I'm excited about the future. In this moment, I will not give myself a hard time for being human or for making mistakes, but I will strive to be a better version of myself than I was yesterday. I will create positive energy, which I will send out into the world. I will appreciate the positive energy that comes back to me. I will find a way to see the good in others, however hard that might be. I will choose kindness over self-gain. In this moment, if I can light a candle to make someone else's journey a little brighter, that's what I'll do. A moment for those in my heart at this time. a moment for silence, to recharge, to hope, to believe. Amen. Our Bible reading for today comes from Matthew chapter 25, from verse 31 through 40, and it's one of Jesus' stories. When the Son of Man comes as King, and all the angels with him, he'll sit on his royal throne, and the people of all the nations will be gathered before him. Then he'll divide them into two groups, just as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He'll put the righteous people at his right and the others at his left. Then the king will say to the people on his right, "Come, you that are blessed by my Father, come and possess the kingdom which has been prepared for you ever since the creation of the world. I was hungry, and you fed me, thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you received me in your homes, naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you took care of me, in prison, and you visited me." The righteous will then answer him, "When, Lord, did we ever see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you a drink? When did we ever see you a stranger and welcome you in our homes, or naked and clothe you? When did we ever see you sick or in prison and visit you?" The king will reply, "I tell you, whenever you did this for one of the least important of these followers of mine, you did it for me." And a reading from Gandhi. I used this a couple of weeks ago at Remembrance, but it works for today as well. Your beliefs become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions. Your actions become your habits. Your habits become your values. Your values become your destiny. And please pause me for a moment. Our next song is Only Time. Movie The Blind Side is the story of Michael Orr, American footballer. It's a really powerful story and it's worth a watch. It starts with a quote from Leanne Tuohy. Now, you all would guess that more often than not, the highest paid player on an NFL team is a quarterback. And you'd be right. But what you probably don't know is that more often than not, the second highest paid player is the left tackle. The left tackle's job is to protect the quarterback from what he can't see coming, to protect his blind side. Please pause me for a moment and watch the football practice video from The Blind Side. Today's message is about caring as a way of life, allowing caring to be just the way you live, so much that you don't even notice it. The people who have done all these good things don't even know it. And probably that's true for us as well. You do a good thing because that's who you are. You don't look to be rewarded for it. It's a good place to be. There is a value in recognising that you are a good person. We're way quicker to notice our failings than our gifts. And kindness is a very special gift. Last week I talked about the concept ikigai. It's a Japanese word meaning reason for being. Your ikigai is where what you value, what you like doing, and what you are good at meet. Your ikigai is enhanced when it expands from 3 circles to 4, with the 4th being something that benefits others. What you value, what you like doing, what you are good at, and something that benefits others. That's where today's story connects with your ikigai. A while ago, when we were able to go out, I was at a pub quiz. My team won! Yay! It was a really hard quiz though. I got, out of all the questions, one. I got the capital of South Africa. Yay, go me! At the end of the quiz, my team won by 1 point. That was me! My 1 point won the quiz for us. The others in my team contributed probably 68, 69 points, but it was my point that won the quiz. Sometimes it is one act, one moment that makes all the difference in the world. Don't ever underestimate the power of what you do. No kind act is ever insignificant. The more you practice kindness, the more it becomes your nature. That doesn't mean you're not ever going to mess up. Last year I looked out my window and someone is parked in my drive. Like, right in my drive. Who would do that? I didn't know who owned the car, so I put a note in the windscreen. Nothing too offensive or too rude. Just a note to suggest that maybe they shouldn't park in someone's drive. And it was bin day the next day, so I put my bin just right behind the car, just to make it a bit more difficult for them to get out. I was going out later that evening and discovered it was one of my neighbour's friends who apologised profusely for it. Do you know what? I wasn't using the drive that night. It actually didn't matter that there was a car there. I could have just let them park there and it wouldn't have done any harm whatsoever. It wasn't inconvenient for me. And I realised that I could just have been kind. I did steel myself and apologise to my neighbour the next day for being a jerk. But it did make me think about the times when sometimes I just want to be right, when in fact I could be kind. In Batwoman, Kate Kane says, even the people we love are still people at the end of the day. They act out of fear, pride, hope, pain. And sometimes they let us down. Our challenge is not to stop being people, but it is to live with a desire to be better people, to be kinder people, to understand that bit more. Every act of kindness makes you a better person and makes a difference to someone else. Aristotle believed that good character is created by the satisfaction we get from doing fulfilling actions. When you protect someone else's blind side, you enable them to be more who they can be. If a quarterback is looking over his shoulder, anxious, afraid that someone's going to hit him, he is going to mess up his throw. If he knows he is safe, he will perform so much better. The quarterback doesn't need to see the left tackle, just needs to know that he's there. When you do a kind thing, you not only make yourself a better person, you also change someone else's life. Every act of kindness creates a ripple that touches many other lives. I want you to pause me again and watch the next video. It's called Video That Will Change Your Life. I've used it in church often, and no apologies for using it again. Sometimes nobody sees what you do. Hey, that can be disheartening, but it doesn't diminish the value of what you've done in any way whatsoever. You doing a good thing doesn't depend on how someone else reacts to it. You have still done a good thing. You do something good because it is a good thing to do, not for someone to notice it. Aesop said, "No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted." Let's do a prayer. God, sometimes I'm afraid I won't be noticed. But maybe in the bigger picture, being noticed is not what matters. Today, I will see kindness, not just as a quality, not just as a good thing, but as a way of life. Amen. I'd invite you just for a moment to share in a moment for reflection. And the bit of music that we're going to listen to is called Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for checking in. I hope the week ahead will be a really good one for you. Our closing song is I the Lord of Sea and Sky. And I've also linked our closing prayer, may God's blessing surround you today.